Hey guys, wanted to check in really quickly. It is day 14 of my water only fast. It's been 2 weeks since I ate anything. It's really hard to believe. I never would have thought that you could go this long without food, let alone feel this good after just drinking water. It's pretty incredible. I just wanted to touch on one topic today. Someone asked me in the comments a while ago, which was like kind of asking for gossip about how other people are doing. Of course I can't throw anyone under the bus, I wouldn't name any names. But I have noticed a pattern. I've been here long enough, I've seen new people come in and start and stop. And there's definitely a pattern, fasting is not for everyone. The doctors will say that, anyone will say that fasting is not for anyone. First of all, it's not for people who are on any kind of prescription medications they can't stop. I don't know what those medications are, but if you want a consultation, get one. And it's also not for type 1 diabetics, because type 1 diabetics can't get off insulin. There's also other factors that go into why people should or shouldn't fast. You also shouldn't fast purely for weight loss. That's also been proven not to be effective. You need to make long-term diet and lifestyle changes to sustain weight loss. But the other component, which no one really talked about that I've noticed, is the mental side of fasting. I think it's largely mental. I see some people come in and they don't know how to rest. That's the best way to put it. They don't know how to rest. I've seen at least a few people kind of drive themselves crazy. And they last 3 days and they're off the fast. The doctor take them off the fast. Or maybe they last 5 or 6 days, they're off the fast. They just can't handle the mental side of fasting. I don't know what that could be. It could be related to, unhealthy lifestyle before the fast and they're detoxing too quickly. It could be a lot of things. But it appears to be a big mental component there. I was talking to one of the interns about it, and he said, fasting really favors a calm mind. If you cultivate a calm mind and you practice learning how to focus your attention where you want it, instead of having it just being scattered on whatever stimulation is nearest, that is the person who's going to do the best on a fast. I'm not saying that that's me, I'm just saying that's what the intern has noticed after observing hundreds of fasts. It's best if you can have a calm mind and focus your attention where you want to. Focus on the practices you want to instill after the fast. Focus on the person you want to become. Focus on the goals you're going to work on. And practice visualization, where I think some people get really caught up in their heads and they basically talk themselves out of the fast very, very early on. And I think there's a big mental component here. It could be emotions coming up, could be detox. I'm not saying there's not just reason why these people can't continue fasting. I just want to bring out that there is a big mental component to it. The people who do have the mental side pretty down, there's also serious physical detox. I've seen people, they just can't get out of bed for days at a time and they have to break the fast, or they get nauseous and they need to go to like sparkling water and then eventually break the fast. So that's the benefit of a medically supervised fast here. There's chiropractors, medical doctors, psychologists, interns, a lot of experienced people here that keep an eye on you. They take your vitals, weekly blood work, urine test. They know when your fast is over. So it's good to have that supervision where that person who lost it on day 3 or lost it on day 8, if they're doing it at home or in another retreat center, they might have been forced or tried to keep going and ran into some problems. So just something I wanted to share with you. I'm doing really great, I think. I haven't made a video in a few days, but day 10, 11, 12, 13, it's all the same story. Just drinking water, resting, reading, writing, talking to family, talking to friends. It's very relaxing and getting some work done too. Some work emails, some work phone calls. I really enjoy it, but I'm not working too hard. That's the other thing about the mental side. There's some people who just can't rest. They can't stop working. They work the whole time they're here all day long, on the phone all day long, and just they can't escape their work. I saw one guy get here on day 1 and he left that night because he couldn't stop thinking about work. So there's a lot of factors going on here. I believe I'm really lucky that I'm doing what I would say I'm doing very well. I'd say I had 2.5 years of a clean vegan diet leading up to here. I was already losing weight before I got here through whole food, plant-based diet and cycling and regular exercise. I have a regular meditation practice for controlling my mind and cultivating that calmness and stillness. I was in a great place coming here, and the first 14 days I have not experienced any significant detox symptoms. My skin keeps clearing up, I'm sleeping well, no complaints really, knock on wood. Hopefully the third week is just as good. I'm shooting for the full 21 days here, and I think my body's ready for it, but just take it day by day, step by step, and I'll shoot you guys an update when I can. A couple things coming up. I do want to show you someone begin their refeeding process, see what it's like when someone takes their first sip of juice after a long fast. And I also talked to Dr. Clapper to see if he'd be willing to give me a quick interview on the channel. So if you have any questions for Dr. Clapper, leave them down below and I'll see if I can get them to answer. I just want to do like a 5-minute interview with him, something really short. So if you have any questions for Dr. Clapper, let me know down below. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep resting, keep the fast going. Maybe make a video tomorrow, maybe not, just focus on rest. So hopefully that update lets you know things are going well, and leave your other questions and comments down below, and I'll see you soon. All right guys, have a great day. Bye. And I just want to remind you guys, don't judge the results of the fast day by day. Like, it's not how it works. It's a long-term thing, Come back in 6 months and see how I'm looking, how I'm doing, how I'm performing.
The effects of a vegetarian diet on systemic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease have been studied and revealed predominantly less systemic diseases in vegetarians. But there have only been a few studies on oral health, which I covered in previous videos. But what's the latest? In a study of 100 vegetarians compared to 100 non-vegetarians, the vegetarians had better periodontal conditions, less signs of inflammation like gum bleeding, less periodontal damage, and better dental home care, brushing and flossing 2.17 times a day compared to 2.02 times a day. Not much of a difference, so maybe it was something about their diet, though vegetarians may have a healthier lifestyle overall beyond just avoiding meat. They control for smoking, but other things like obesity can adversely affect oral health, so there may be confounding factors. What we need is an interventional study, where they take people eating the standard Western diet, improve their diets, and see what happens. But no such study existed until now. With professional support of nutritionists, the participants of the study with existing periodontal disease changed their dietary patterns to so-called wholesome nutrition, a diet emphasizing veggies, fruits, whole grains, potatoes, beans, peas, lentils, spices, with water as the preferred beverage. What a concept. To make sure any changes they witnessed were due to the diet, they made sure everyone maintained their same oral hygiene before and after the dietary change. What did they find? They found that eating healthier appeared to lead to a significant reduction of probing pocket depth, gingival inflammation, gum inflammation, and levels of inflammatory cytokines, which mediate the tissue destruction in periodontal disease. So maybe concluded that wholesome nutrition may improve periodontal health. Why, though? Yes, plant-based diets have a number of nutritional benefits in terms of nutrient density, but it also may be about improving the balance between free radicals and our antioxidant defense system. Traditionally, dietary advice for oral health was just about avoiding sugar, which feed the bad bacteria on our teeth. But now we realize some foods and beverages, like green tea, possess antimicrobial properties to combat the plaque-producing bacteria directly. Streptococcus mutans has been identified as oral enemy number 1. If plaque is caused by bacteria, though, why not just use antibiotics? Many such attempts have been made. However, undesirable side effects such as antibiotic resistance, vomiting, diarrhea, and teeth stains have precluded their use. In a petri dish, green tea phytonutrients effectively inhibited the growth of these bacteria, but what about in our mouth? They found that rinsing with green tea strongly inhibited the growth of plaque bacteria on our teeth within minutes. 7 minutes after swishing with green tea, the number of these bacteria in the plaque scraped from people's teeth was cut nearly in half. So if you have people swish with sugar water in their mouths, within 3 minutes the pH on their teeth can drop into the cavity formation danger zone. But if 20 minutes before swishing with that sugar water, you swish with some green tea, you wipe out so many plaque bacteria that the same sugar water hardly has any effect at all. So they conclude using green tea as a mouthwash or adding it to toothpaste could be a cost-effective cavity prevention measure, especially in developing countries, because here in the civilized world we have antiseptic mouthwashes with fancy chemicals like chlorhexidine, considered the gold standard anti-plaque agent, if only it didn't cause genetic damage. DNA damage has been detected in individuals who rinse their mouths with chlorhexidine-containing mouthwashes, and not just to cells in the mouth. 13 volunteers rinsed their mouth with the stuff for a few weeks, and there was not only an increase in DNA damage in the cells lining their cheeks, but also in their peripheral blood cells, suggesting it was absorbed into their bodies. Yes, it reduced plaque better than other antiseptic chemicals. However, it might be doubtful whether chlorhexidine can still be considered the gold standard when considering how toxic it is to human cells. So are we left with having to decide between effectiveness or safety? How about a head-to-head test between chlorhexidine and green tea? Green tea worked better than chlorhexidine at reducing plaque. So using green tea as a mouthwash may work cheaper, safer, and better. And if as a bonus you want to sprinkle some amla powder into it, dried Indian gooseberry powder, it evidently shows an outstanding cavity-stopping potential, not by killing off the bacteria like green tea, but just by suppressing the bacteria's plaque-forming abilities. Here's how much plaque is formed without amla. Here's how much is formed with.
You should start feeling really good, because you're doing something for yourself, and you're doing something to lose your weight and get healthy and get strong. And these are the same exercises I did when I was 200 pounds.